Jonathan Majors just fell through a window immediately after signing up to do a Daily Wire movie. You can't make this up. On the set of his new action film for the Daily Wire, Jonathan Majors fell through tempered glass along with one of his co-stars. Now, while Jonathan's team is not actually answering any questions, likely because I theorize they're probably in some kind of contract renegotiations, I could just totally see Ben Shapiro trying to lowball Jonathan Majors initially. And because Jonathan Majors is, desperate, he probably took it initially. But when the star of your film falls through a window, we might have to go back over the books a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So now just a few days after they actually begin filming, this happens, which is kind of ironic and kind of funny. Because in this case, it's like two people are getting exactly what they deserve. You get Jonathan, who's getting what he deserves for doing a film for one of the worst studios imaginable. And then Ben gets what he deserves because now you're going to have to pay even more money. And considering how you did Brett Cooper and Candace Owens, I don't think you like spending money at all. This is my impression of Jonathan Majors immediately post falling out that window. Raise the prices.
Having a 400-year head start and still making nothing of yourself is not black people's fault. So can y'all please just stay out the comments of black people eating at any restaurant and save the microaggressions. It ain't our fault, bro.
I call bullshit because the same people who are in the comments talking about his religious wake up call, y'all are the ones who believe that Wendy Williams deserve to be afflicted with lymphedema and to experience the shit that her husband took her through because she, used to do Hot Topics. Do you know factory issue white homosexuals are nefarious beings? I'm talking about straight off the conveyor belt. White gays with frosted tips, husky white gays with frosted tips in the 90s with a coin, villains. I'm talking about a bitch you can sit them right over there at Arkham Asylum next to Joker and them. A Joe Freeze set. So, bitch, the stories I've heard about the things you've done to people, you lucky you up and walking. You need to be repenting to the people directly and without expectation of them responding. I'm talking about letters. I'm talking about doing the work, not filmed, not articles. I'm talking about in the streets doing your things because you have been, Miss Thing, you are the epicenter of a lot of shit that a lot of young girls lived with in this industry. Boots. Didn't you famously out somebody as well? Girl, keep.
I've never heard of an angry black woman pew-pewing a school. I've never heard of an angry black woman unaliving people on the Vegas Strip, movie theater, or grocery store. I've never seen or heard of an angry black woman doing the Yahtzee salute or carrying a flag. I've never heard of an angry black woman unaliving a 12-year-old black boy. I've never seen or heard of an angry black woman wearing a white hood over her head. And I've never heard of an angry black woman writing a manifesto and calling it Project 2025. I say all that to say, if you still think black women are the angry ones, that lets me know everything I need to know about you.
Baby, you got to go to hell, okay? The faster you do it, the better off every...
4C hair is high maintenance. Now deal with it. Because you guys use this as an excuse to treat your hair with so much disrespect and resentment. My hair is hard to maintain. So what? Deal with it. Figure it out. It's part of your DNA. Figure it the fuck out. I'm tired of the disrespect that 4C hair gets. Yes, 4C hair requires that extra love and extra care, so give it what it needs. Give it what it fucking needs. The same way you guys go and buy wigs and you will melt it for hours. The same way you could take time to learn how to melt your wigs in, to watch YouTube videos, to care for your wigs, is the same way you would invest into your hair. I don't give a fuck. Stop punishing your hair because it defies gravity and doesn't fit the societal norms created by some white people with thin lips.
I don't think they was talking about the American experience, because they specifically was asking black women that travel to those countries, why do they go to those countries if they're coming back telling stories about how they dealt with racism in those countries from the people of those countries. That's first. I don't really know nothing about the Koreans and the black people, especially in California, beefing. But what I will tell you is that America, the United States of America, and South Korea have been cool for a very long time. And then you said that most countries are not built on racism. I disagree with that. Most countries are built on racism. Like, it's literally in the history books. Japan, South Korea, North Korea, China, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Singapore, what's the other name? Taiwan. Like, all of this is countries that was built on racism, especially European countries. All the European countries is built on racism. So I'm just a little confused. Most of the countries built on racism.
Hey, we need to keep black jokes off the internet. Cause why am I seeing non-blacks talking about something they hear in the saxophones getting louder? Man, that shit come from Black American movies, bro. What you know about that, bro? God damn, but these folks can't come up with shit by themselves, boy.
It seems like there's a lack of diversity here today. That it's mostly people who look like you and I, and I just
it is not for black people, for people of color to get out on the street. They're at risk when they do that. If anybody's going to get arrested here, it's going to be a black person. It is not safe for them, and they don't need to participate. We need to walk in their name.
Gotcha. Okay.
I love her.
Wow. Okay. What do you think about voter ID? Do you think it's racist?
It's 100% a tactic to control the population and prevent people from voting, so that the only votes so that the gerrymandering can work, so that white voters can vote in white Christian males.
Have you been voting blue most of your life?
I voted blue in the womb.
Ah, wonderful.
Yeah.
If you had to vote for a Republican, J.D. Vance or Rubio, which one would you pick if you had to?
Yeah. I would slit my throat. Whoa!
Yeah. Really? I love her.
When I talk about other races of people being obedient lapdogs for white supremacy, think about how there might be some like Japanese people out there that's like, oh, black people hate us so much and stuff like that. And it's just like the only 2 nuclear bombs ever dropped. It wasn't black people that did that, buddy. You feel me? So that's what I mean. Obedient lapdogs for white supremacy. They walk amongst us.
And the hood is absolutely the epicenter and the authority of culture, because everything that y'all love about black culture and therefore popular culture at large is informed by the hood. All the swag, slang, and juice, it's not coming from the suburbs. It damn sure ain't coming off that military base Jermaine was raised on. It comes from the hood. So if it ain't a hood classic, it's not a classic. What the fuck are we talking about? Of course, somebody who's been making millions off of the culture for the past decade can only talk about it as a commodity. And even before you were a multi-millionaire rap mogul, you were just a visitor in the hood. You were only there to see your friends. You wasn't raised in the hood. So of course you don't know we was listening to MF Doom in the hood. Of course he doesn't have the cultural appreciation and value for the hood that it deserves, because for him, he hasn't had that experience. The hood has just been a source of content for his lyrics and inspiration for his rap persona. But the way that we talk, that's our language. The way that we dress, that's our fashions. Those are our customs. It's our whole way of life. It's our practices, our traditions. It's our culture. We have always been more than the way that capitalism commodifies us. And we've never been defined by that. It's so interesting the way that he places value based off of what white people have access to. Oh, well, the culture isn't what it used to be because the white girls can just pick up the slang like that off the internet, which they were doing that before the internet. Maybe it didn't spread as quickly, but they were doing that before the internet. He's just completely out of touch and unable to acknowledge it and recognize it like most multi-millionaire rap moguls are. The man that signed him has this same fucking problem. And Jay-Z is from the hood, and he still struggles with that really bad. And I think that just speaks to how effective the industry is when it comes to changing them before they ever have the opportunity to change the industry. They just become a part of the program of exploiting the culture for multi-millions. And in Jay-Z's case, billions. And they don't understand the way that skews their relationship and their view of the culture. The culture will never be empty. You are.
J. Cole and Drake are two sides of the same white woman coin, okay? They're acting just like the white women they were raised by. Drake is a classic textbook Karen, okay? He will start some bullshit with you, and the moment you decide to retaliate to the bullshit that he started, he is going to run, cry, and sue you. He's going to call the police and sue you, report you to the fucking authorities, just like a Karen, okay? Now, J. Cole, that Jermaine, he is a liberal white woman, okay? He is the blue-haired bitch that you think is cool. She might even have been on the front lines with you at a protest at some point. The moment she feels like her back is against the wall, she's throwing you under the bus, and she's calling the police on you just like the white women she tries to condemn. That's why, like, Jermaine, he actually makes me a little bit angrier. You know, because he want everybody to think that he down and he for the people and all that other shit. You is a white girl. I don't fucking like that. And as a slight hip-hop head, somebody who truly appreciates the art of rap, I will not let y'all get in this bitch and let these two Karens fuck up the narrative and switch up what hip-hop is about. Rap is gritty. Rap is about who's the best, who can spit the best, who can do it. Yeah, that's what it's about. It's not no fluff-a-duff shit. And J. Cole said he don't even really think he the GOAT for real. He just be saying that because that's a part of his persona. These are the kind of half niggas that are in the hip-hop space at this moment. This shit is pathetic. That is fucking sad. And those two guys are Karens. Thank you.
You are a white man telling a black woman what discrimination is, as if I give a what you think. Genuinely, I don't.
Black History Month has come and gone. Melanated March has now come to a close. And thus we usher in African American April. Stay black, my friends.
A nerdy kid who got called corny for liking anime just won the Oscar for Best Actor. And a woman who was rejected from the #1 film school in America just became the #1 woman to win Best Cinematographer in a movie written by a man who wanted to be a football player, but after a series of injuries was encouraged by a professor to be a writer. He showed up to film school with all the money he and his girlfriend could squeeze together. Now he's got an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, and his roommate won Best Composer. And that's important, because even though it's been almost 100 years and no black storyteller has won Best Director, Sinners shows us firsthand how betting on ourselves lets us reclaim our past and our future. How it creates opportunities for the new generation and our elders. Because whether you're an outcast, a reject, or injured, if you look in your heart and you find a story there, don't give up on it. The world needs you to believe in it.
Confuse the enemy. Yep.